The least of our worries.
What am I, 3?
Man.
Hey, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I high enough?
I don't know. Probably not.
That's a loaded question.
My bad. That's on me. Well, sorry for no sound last week. Glad the team could edit and help us there. We're a wee bit late. Because of the same difficulty, but we figured it out.
Also,
we believe
better late than never, and that's what it was looking like.
Yes,
just about 10 minutes ago.
It was grim. It was very, very grim. Is what we will state in that regard. But hey, we're here. We've got our drinks, although I haven't taken a sip. I should
First one. There we go.
But here we are.
Now we can officially start.
All right. So, oh my Lord. This week's title is G.O.A.T.E.D. NFL quarterback play being trash. I'm all for it. As you can see, our graphic is Matty Ice. No longer a Falcon. Still love the guy, but no longer a Falcon. So, I want to get into that, and that's the theme of today.
Right.
And so let's start with the theme of the day. Then we'll get to our normal rundown of what happened last week, why Ryan has more shitty shots, why Cole dominates college, I dominate NFL. I don't know why we picked the others. Yeah. We'll get into that. But for the theme today, why don't you walk through it?
So just really, for the season, specifically this last weekend, your boy Matty Ice coming off his best game of the year.
Yeah.
Last week.
Crazy. Yep.
I think 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, somewhere in there, like kind of a throwback performance in an upset last week. And this week lays the egg of all eggs and gets replaced by Ellinger?
Who has not taken a
Sam Ellinger
regular season snap.
Former Texas Longhorn. Yeah. Honestly, I don't have much information on him because you haven't seen him other than preseason and at Texas, and Texas just isn't not in past years been.
I wouldn't say they're
school
QBU.
That, you would think would be producing a NFL quarterback the last couple of years. So to be continued, I guess, on that. More so just the fact that, unless he gets hurt, is Matt Ryan done?
Well, one, he is hurt. He has a grade 2. I don't know what shoulder it is at this point. You have to believe. You have to believe he is done, unless he wants to take a backup role and can fill in, which we don't know because he's literally never been in this situation in his career, both at BC and here in the NFL. The thing is, if he's protected, he can play. He has not been protected in a decade, but he has to have an O-line to protect him because he can't move.
Right.
Same thing with Brady, which we'll obviously can hit upon. Yeah. Same thing with Rodgers. They all need to be able to sit there and sling the rock. And honestly, right now across the NFL, we could talk about O-line if we damn should.
Right.
There's just not great O-lines that are protecting. And
no, but that's what these defenses are built right now on two things. It's pass rush and coverage. And that's why you're seeing teams that are having success consistently are running the football. Yeah. And so, there's a reason for that.
Correct.
And it's because of the type of players. That's why the NFL is a cyclical sport. You'll adjust to the point where you're just throwing the ball over the field until the athletes get out there, and then you run the ball. And so you're starting to see that, I think, a little bit overall, and we've talked about that a little bit here from week to week. Tom Brady, he's not getting protected. He's not throwing as consistent as he usually does, and he's just not as committed to football, though, right now. A lot of distractions in the personal life, a lot of off time, a a lot of injured receivers, so a lot of things going on there in Tampa, and they don't run the ball. They don't even attempt to run the ball, really.
Which makes no sense to me.
So to me, that's yes, it's a Tom thing, but it's more a scheme thing than a Tom thing.
I would agree.
And also it's a scheme and team thing. Right now, I don't think Tom Brady holds as much respect in that locker room this year as he has over the last couple, because he's not present.
I mean,
that's been his MO for 22 years is I'm all in on football, and he is not showing that this year. So, I mean, you can say what you want, it's the GOAT, it's Tom Brady, but you got to show up, put in work, yelling at your offensive line on the sidelines mid-game. Not a good look when you're not there 3 out of 5 days during the week.
Yeah,
when we're, install and everything like that. It's just, so something's got to change there. They need a bye week, honestly, is what I think. Just need to kind of reset.
Because they're not a bad football team, right?
No.
Like, I mean, they're a playoff football team. They just have some issues. So a bye week will do well. I hope not, but bye week will do well.
And then you've got Rodgers and the Packers, and, a lot of the same can go for Rodgers as far as being there. Honestly, I think he probably has a little bit more of the locker room support than what Brady does.
I agree.
I think for Rodgers, it's more of a media thing because he's just kind of shunned and made fun of them over the last couple of years.
Right.
But at this point, you knew after they got rid of Devontae Adams that he wasn't going to have a guy that could just bail him out.
Right.
They had a rapport that, you can practice so much and everything like that, but you got 2 rookies, both who've battled a little bit of injuries, battled some drops, and then you got Lazard, who's battled injuries. You got Cobb, who's battled injuries. And you got no line that has been injured and can't protect. So you've leaned on Aaron Jones. Dylan's been okay, had some fumbling issues. And so they just haven't been able to put it together. But again, run the football. You've got the, 1-2 of Jones and Dillon, and you got to use that. And I think that's where all three, the Colts, the Packers, and the Bucks, have to get back to their best players are their running backs. And so how can we get back to utilizing them? How can we get back to controlling the game by not having to throw 30, 40 times a game?
Right.
Because those guys in today's NFL can't do that without a either successful short passing game or successful running game. And right now they don't have either. So, but I feel like I don't feel like they're out of it. I just feel like they need to reset, understand what they need to do to attack. And I mean, I have no reason to think that specifically the Bucks and Packers won't get it figured out as far as making the playoffs. But right now it's fairly bleak. And going into this week, we're going to talk about matchups for both of them.
I think they are so lucky the NFC is weak.
Right.
Because like at this point in time, you could be out of it, but there's no one running away. I mean, Eagles, Cowboys are the only ones that are
Giants
running away.
Yeah, and the NFC Beast.
Man, the NFC South and West are just scrapping.
A dumpster fire.
Just a dumpster fire, and it's going to. I don't see in those both divisions someone running away with it, and at this point anymore.
Right.
I think the flaws are there. Can you make adjustments? Yes. Can you grind out wins? Yes, but I'm not thinking any of the NFC South Bucks are going to that game in 10-point favorites. Now, they might actually be. Right. But not to me. No, they're going to be in close games, which should be good games, by the way, if they could score. But it's we talked about it last week. They are what they are right now. Right?
You're a third of the way through the season. So, like I said, that's why you got to hit reset a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's look at our flaws and let's look at our strengths. Then, let's play to our strengths. I mean, you can fix your flaws in the offseason.
In that regard, I trust the Bucks to do so more or quickly or easier, and I got to turn those lights off, than the Packers because they have veterans on that offense across the board.
Right.
receivers, running backs. Everyone's a vet, so I think they can switch quickly, as opposed to I think the Packers might take, like they might switch it, but it might take them a little bit. I'm gonna switch the lights real quick.
No, that's fine.
It's bugging the helmet. We have halos on top of our head.
Yeah, I saw. I was just looking at it like we're glowing. Hey, we got audio. What else do they want from us? Jeez.
You want visuals
Yes,
too?
come on.
Come on.
Oh, we still kind of have them. Is that coming? Oh, it's delayed. Never mind. Joke's on you.
Joke's on you, sucker.
More. So you have more faith in the Bucks figuring it out because they're the Bucks, or because of the division they play in?
I mean, you got both there,
Right.
but mainly because all the vets on the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, top to bottom, they have vets.
Right.
And I think that will be easier of a transition than, you know.
Well, and the Packers are. I mean, the Vikings are playing well right now, so they're chasing uphill, as it is more so than the Bucks are. But
and the Bears.
Oh yeah, there's the Bears. I don't have much to say about that game last night,
except for that they cost me $400.
Although, do you want to talk Mac Jones? I mean, absolutely. We can parlay this G.O.A.T.E.D talk into the guy who replaced the GOAT.
Did you hear him? He said parlay.
Who also
I also should take these notes.
Was given the reins basically from Brady. All of the Patriots fans were on board. He gets hurt. Wasn't playing as well. Gets hurt. Zappy comes in, can sling it a little bit more. Not as much of a game manager type as Jones is. And now we're getting Mac Jones booed off the field on Monday Night Football and Zappy chance.
So
I mean, you still lost to the Bears. So let's make sure that we put
these are my thoughts on this
perspective there.
Mac Jones fully healthy. Don't know.
No.
I mean, we know, but we don't know, right?
No, we know
because like
brace and limps, and he just wasn't ready to come back.
He's not a quarterback, the echelon of quarterback that to me is locked into his position. And so if someone plays better, let me back this up.
Especially New England.
If Hoyer plays as well as Zappy did, is Mac Jones starting on Thursday night, or would Hoyer start?
But Hoyer's he is meant to be a lifetime backup. Like that's the problem. Is like you're discerning between.
I get that, but I'm trying to do between a vet and a rookie, and that's what I think they were thinking. That's the only thing that would make sense.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to do the comparison. Not that he's a backup.
But you know what I'm saying though. Like that's.
But you could trust him get through next couple games until Mac's 100%, right?
Well, yeah, but
why didn't you do that with Zappy?
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting to.
I got you.
Like if it's Hoyer, they ride with Hoyer for a couple games. And
I don't think so though.
I think you should have. You should have kept with Zappy. He's the hot hand. Yeah, he's a rookie, but he has his upsides much higher than Mac Jones.
Here's the conspiracy
That's why
theory.
there was such a short leash.
You ready for the conspiracy theory?
Absolutely.
It is the Belichick wants to start Zappy and knew Mac Jones wasn't 100% healthy, put him out there to fail so he could pull him and put Zappy in. Now nobody can say anything the rest of the year.
I mean, he's smart enough, sly enough to do so. I can't rule it out. But Zappy should start the rest of the year barring injury.
Right.
He's just...
They're more dynamic offense when he plays.
Yes, correct. All right, so we stopped that at 18. So I can tell. So I can be on top of that this time.
5 to 18.
5 to 18. All right.
Look at us being responsible. College football. It was a good weekend of college football, but it was following one of the greatest weekends just from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Kind of a letdown, if I'm being honest, at least for me personally. There were a couple of good games, some blowouts, and the teams that I wanted to win didn't. Whether that be bet related or
just in general.
Just generally,
I felt the same.
So that this weekend was a letdown for me from that perspective. So don't have a lot in my mind that we learned necessarily, other than that.
No,
the top football teams are the top football teams.
I do think it hurt the Pac-12 having UCLA lose
100%. I mean, Oregon dominated that football game.
They look like the Oregon everyone talked about.
Yeah.
Now, could their early loss be wiped out and they have an outside shot? Yeah.
They have to run the table.
But they got to run the table.
And Georgia's got to run the table.
Correct. So.
And I would even maybe say Georgia has to run the table and look really good doing it just to prove that they're that much.
Oh, and Oregon has to continue
dominating well.
Games. They can't have. Yes. They can't do what Clemson did. That just can't. But so no. I agree there. I think that's really. I don't even say we learned anything. I just believe that's what it is.
Yeah. UCLA, it was just unfortunate. They were never in the game.
No.
They scored early a little bit, and then they scored late in between. Oregon did whatever they wanted.
They just couldn't stop. They literally couldn't stop them. I think their offense would have been fine competing.
Right.
But their defense had zero answers for Bo Nix and the Oregon Ducks. So we got one pick right out of all of those. That was Cole with
all those
over.
Points.
Oh, Cole with the over with, I think they had 76. So
correct. 75. 45-30.
Yeah. So good job, Cole.
Yeah.
All our other
we
picks,
almost goon-locked.
The opposite.
The opposite.
Yeah, the
whatever the
negative goon-lock, yes. Not the positive goon-lock. So next, K-State TCU.
This is a ball game.
Yeah.
Quarterback play again coming in. And I don't know that we even have any answers about what happened to Martinez.
No. I don't. Not that I found.
I haven't heard anything. Right. I haven't done a ton of research, honestly. Could really care less about these two teams. But definitely TCU winning impacts playoff predictions and stuff like that. Kansas State dominated this game for 2.5 quarters.
Yeah.
And then Kansas State stopped playing.
I'm pretty sure.
Actually, their backup quarterback got hurt. I'm pretty sure at the
same point, I had tweeted out and said, I have a shitty shot because every team I have is losing.
Right.
That's when UCLA started going the way. Yep. That's when I was just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
But we don't know what happened, Martinez. TCU turned it around, pulled it out.
But so they were fine. Kansas State was still going to win that game, in my opinion, if their backup didn't get hurt, right. Meaning that he played a quarter and a half injured.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did it change any, how you felt about TCU, how you felt about Kansas State?
No, TCU's not top 10. They're not going to the playoffs, in my opinion. They'll end up losing one or two down the stretch.
That
doesn't change.
That's where they should be.
Yeah.
So
they were 8. They probably went up. Who knows?
Right.
I don't really
and
care.
They're up to, I'm pretty sure they went up to 7, honestly. Because Bama didn't move. Yeah. Nobody else in the top 5 lost.
That makes sense. So we went from only having one pick right to only having one pick wrong on this, and that was Ryan.
Our buddy.
Good job. Hedging Ryan.
Our hedge buddy Ryan.
Did not fare well, specifically when you get to the NFL too.
Yeah.
The hedges didn't work out well.
Right.
All right. Mississippi State Bama, I think, went the spread was 21 and it ended up being 24.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi State had, I think, a couple missed field goals and red zone turnover. So I believe it would have covered. That's fine. I'm good with that one as an L. I don't know why you went with the over. I don't understand where.
I thought Mississippi State could, just based on what Tennessee did to Alabama, I thought Mississippi State. I mean, you've got Leach there.
It's fair.
He's an offensive mind. Take some of no, we can't keep up with him, but we can at least score 24. And I thought so. Yeah. Therefore, I thought Bama was going to get 40. So I mean, that's where my.
It didn't come close.
No. I mean, Bama just kind of stopped playing. I mean, not that they had to, but they kind of stopped playing.
Yeah, that was also interesting. They went up big and then.
I mean, literally just turned it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, who knows?
Got to stay healthy. Ultimately, don't matter what the score is.
Correct. But this next one.
Good luck!
There it is.
Crushed it.
Yeah, never a doubt, right?
Never a doubt in Texas OK State. Never a doubt.
Right up until.
Holy.
I mean, Texas should have won that football game.
Absolutely.
First and foremost.
Absolutely should have won that football game.
Their quarterback, Quinn Ewers, played one half of football looking like Joe Montana. And one half of football looking like Spencer Petras.
Yeah.
And that might be disrespectful to Petras.
It was
that bad.
And I'm not sure what happened. How as a quarterback, have you ever had a game like that?
Anything? I mean, like it's hard in game to go
to be lights out to lights
without like them changing a scheme to where you're getting pressure at your feet or anything like. In Oklahoma, he was missing clean pocket open throws. Now again, at the end of the game, when they had some drives a little bit before he threw the interception at the very end, he did make some throws.
Right.
So it didn't seem like there was injury, but to lose it in game like that or at half, but I mean, halftime can take you out of rhythm too. And if you miss a couple, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, Oklahoma State starts to score.
More pressure.
Now we got a little pressure. I'm still a freshman, like that type of thing. But oh boy, did he miss some wide open throws that could have put that game away and just put it out of reach for anything Oklahoma State could have done.
Absolutely. But it
credit
didn't
Oklahoma
happen.
State for hanging in, getting a victory. I mean, they had 6.5 points to cover. So
also the over on this one was cash money.
Yeah,
that was going to happen
because
Big 12 they don't play defense.
Well, that game went for what 80 some.
Yeah, it was a little insane. Syracuse, Clemson. Talk about a team that usually has Clemson's number. Also a team that decides to always drop the bag.
Yeah.
Syracuse dominated the first half. Absolutely, utterly dominated. Clemson had no shot. To the fact that they benched their starting quarterback. Like, that's how bad.
To win the game.
Yeah, to win the game. That's how bad.
I don't think they win the game if they don't do that.
Oh, I 100%. Oh,
we're talking about the number 5 team in the country.
If Syracuse decided to play football in the second half, they also would have won.
Right.
But yeah, no, you bench your starter and you get your backup to come win your game.
I don't know why you guys took the over in this game.
I'm not sure. I don't recall.
I can say that because I took the
because
over.
you took the. I don't really remember. Besides, it's 49 points in college and it's low, and Clemson hasn't stopped many people. I think that was it, but I have no clue.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I hit the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you do on the spread there, bud?
What? I mean, we both went 2 for 3. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, spreads are harder to pick.
Oh, okay. Says the guy who hit the spread, you know?
Well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you had 13.5 points. Like, that was the easy Ryan hedge bet. Obviously, he took it.
Right. It was also the smart bet.
So, Stoy and Ryan hit Clemson and hit Syracuse, getting 13.5. I had Clemson running away with it all the way in the under. So we all hit 2 out of 3 there.
But over the weeks, pretty solid.
11-4 for me, 10-5 for Stoy, and another L for Rhino. He better get back in studio, or he's just gonna start.
Ladies and gents, he is down 5. He has 5 shitty shots as we speak. So
we've got an Uber lined up for him next week. He's hoping to be able to come back and be done with his work training. So
we'll see.
Knock it down to our best bets. Moneyline lock, minus 200 or better. Stoy, any comments? UCLA, plus 190. Just got shellacked by Oregon.
They just got dominated.
As did Purdue against Wisconsin.
That was over quickly.
Yeah, the game was like 28-0 in no time. So, way to go us. Spread lock. You had Oklahoma State at the 6.5 against Texas. Good call. Ole Miss just straight laid an egg.
That was the worst game of the weekend for me.
They were.
I did not see any of that happening.
Well, the game was bad. Like, it wasn't competitive against an LSU team who has. I mean, they've been relatively competitive against bad teams, but I think
Ole Miss
that maybe says more about Ole Miss than it does LSU.
I agree.
It was at LSU, but it was a day game, so it wasn't like
correct.
Which is why I was on Ole Miss there. Over under lock, you had UNLV and Notre Dame under 47.5. Notre Dame just
close
clubbed them.
Oh, I didn't see that. I
think Notre Dame went over in that game, didn't they?
I'm pretty sure they did. If not, they were
48-10 or something like that.
It was. I did not see Notre Dame scoring that many points. So good for them. Good for you, Notre Dame.
And then Iowa, Ohio State. If you watch the first half, the under 49.5 was a lock. And then
Oh boy.
Iowa, if they weren't bad enough in the first half, meaning Petrus throwing an interception, fumbling twice, or throwing 2 interceptions.
It doesn't matter.
Either way, he had 3 turnovers and a 5 quarterback rating in the first half. He was 4 for 14 for like 50 yards, and it was 2 interceptions because one of them was a pick 6. So he threw the other team 7 points. Iowa's defense
got them
7 on a pick 6 of their own.
Of their 10,
they got 10. Again, Iowa's special teams and defense outscores their offense 10-0 this week. Ohio State, however, unfortunately, like I went with the under because I just didn't think that they'd get a chance to run it up like that. Iowa turned the ball over 6 times. And so that game goes under if they don't turn it over. However, it happened. Ohio State was never going to stop because they were trying to get to 55 points, which is what Iowa hung on them the last time they played in Iowa City. Nope, they got to 54. So 54-10 in that game. I mean, Iowa cannot afford to turn the ball over once in a game like that, and they turned it over 6 times. And Padilla, do we want to get into this conversation? I mean, we've talked a lot about Petrus, Padilla, like why he hasn't gotten a chance. He had a 2 quarterback rating in the second half. I put in a terrible spot.
Just the worst spot you could probably get into.
And we talked about this offline.
Right. But also the play calling still has not improved at all. If I'm Padilla, I'm probably going in there slinging the thing too. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to reserve judgment on Padilla until
he gets a start.
Until he gets a start.
And until he gets to play against the terrible teams that Petrus looked terrible against.
Yes. I'm not going to hold judgment on Ohio State. I'm not even going to put Petrus out there.
Right.
Like Petri dish, I knew what we were going to get.
Right.
So I'm not even going to put that out there against Ohio State.
Yeah.
I don't really have much there besides
my disappointment in overall, and not Padilla, but Padilla broke the pocket a couple of different times with time, created time. Mm-hmm. There's still nobody open.
There's still no one open.
And that's ultimately like that was like second series because he came in through the pick first series, I think. Right. Very first play even. But yeah, 2 different times in that. Yeah, yes. I wonder how many times that's happened. Probably never in college football. Records.
It's not a high probability.
Setting records. But I just don't like if he's able to break the pocket, like you can see why Ferentz a little bit would be like, well, we can't do that because once he breaks the pocket, like we really have nobody open, and now we're gonna lose you. Like so, but you have to have a guy that can avoid pressure a little bit, which he was able to. But he got sacked even more than Petrus. But they were an obvious
correct. I mean,
passing, which is why you can't judge it too much, in my opinion.
So, one, I think it makes Petri dish look better, the fact that no one gets open. Mm-hmm. But I don't know enough, and I do not watch enough Iowa football because why would I do that?
That sounds torture.
The fact of what are their scramble rules, though? Like every team we have scramble rules.
Right.
What if they're not used to it and they're good at it?
And they don't practice it because we've heard what Brian Ferentz's take on it is.
Correct. So
it's backyard football.
It's backyard football. If they don't do backyard football, you're not getting open.
No.
And that as a defender, a quarterback that gets outside the pocket and all the rules are out the window, that's the hardest thing to defend.
Right.
Because now you have to match up. You can't stay in your zone. They'll be wide open. So if they're not doing that, he doesn't believe in backyard football, they're just going to keep running the routes, probably turn around and stop.
Right.
No one's going to be open.
Yeah.
So
Iowa
do better, be better.
We did hit both our D-Gen picks this week.
And by a lot.
I mean, both of our teams were the better teams.
By 20 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Liberty beat BYU and Duke beat Miami, and
like 45-20.
The power move in the end zone by the Duke running back, which we'll
get to that.
We'll show that in a little bit.
That was one of the best.
Yes.
One of the best.
Do you want to look at that now?
No, we'll get to it. That's our
all right.
But before we get into the other stuff. So that was college football.
Yeah.
All right. I need 233. little NFL recapo.
All right. For my wife, shout out for the Chiefs.
There you go.
Dominating the 49ers. She probably listens more than I would like. Love you, honey.
She probably listens more than.
Well, like she'll just make like a random comment sometimes about something we talked about. And I'm like, oh, you were listening. Like
that's fair.
Hey, so shout out to her for being one of our listeners that's hung in there, yep. And even when we have all the technical difficulties, and shout out to her Chiefs, who did absolutely just dismantle the 49ers this week.
Some people were surprised. I mean, I bet heavy on that because that line was. I actually think I got the Chiefs at plus at some point. You do realize that they just got dominated by the Atlanta Falcons, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't anyone think they were going to stay with the Chiefs?
Well, didn't you think that Christian McCaffrey was going to play defense?
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I didn't have that one penciled in.
Oh, right. Well, maybe they were going to bring in McCaffrey.
You bet I do.
Now we got live comments. Oh, geez.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's tough. That's rough. I enjoy it though.
Hey, at my expense, it's fine.
Oh, absolutely. But no, yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like they got dominated. They were going to get dominated.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they need to move McCaffrey into the slot and let Debo go to defense. I think that guy would be good on defense.
I just let him play both ways.
Right?
Just let him play both ways. Why not?
Why not? Exactly. You don't have to have him run as much,
right?
So he can take the running portion out of his game and then just go play safety.
And we talked about this in with my fifth year group. When was the last time you saw a white cornerback? I think McCaffrey would be a decent cornerback. I'm just saying. But seriously, fun fact.
Jason Sehorn.
2009 Jason Sehorn.
I mean, that's
put it out there.
It's about the easiest. Talk about a needle in a haystack.
And Lehart did the same thing. Yeah. He was like, Jason Sehorn. Yeah, I'm like, absolutely. I have to Google this. Google last white cornerback NFL. Jason Sehorn.
Where did Jason Sehorn play college football?
KU. I have no idea.
That's a great question.
We'll look it up as we get through the Saints Cards game.
So yeah, first one of the week, Thursday night football. Finally, a Thursday night football game that actually looked like football.
So the greatest thing is our best clip that we still get comments on. We had a clip about Thursday night football and Monday night football being terrible. Mm-hmm. This week, both games,
probably two of the better-ish games. And definitely Thursday.
On paper, they looked
garbage.
Yeah, and they came out to be really solid games.
No doubt.
So I'm putting it on us. We changed the scope of Thursday night, Monday night football games.
That's what happened for sure. So we all had the unders. We'll start there. And those did not hit because there was actually offense played and teams actually scored touchdowns when they got in the red zone and
he played it,
made plays.
He played at USC. I didn't have that on my scorecard.
No, absolutely not. So Ryan, Stoy both knocked the Cards here. Stoy ride it all the way all the way. You took the Cards to win.
I sure did.
So Stoy rode the Cards across the board. So did Ryan actually.
Yeah.
Stoy just didn't want him to look good.
Does that change?
That changes a tie for because
well,
that's a rough find.
It will be all right.
Maybe we'll find something else. We'll see.
Whoopsies.
Yep. So Cards end up with
Cards, baby.
Victory there.
What did you think? Like, where were you going Saints wise?
The Cardinals are not good.
I mean, they're better than the Saints.
I mean, the Saints could run the football. I just thought that they would be able to control the clock at the end of the game, win the game.
They didn't. That's
and I think the Saints have a better defense than the Cardinals.
I agree. I can see how you see that.
That's, and that's also why I was on the under.
I also definitely was not picking the Saints. So there's also that.
That's always going to be the case. We're going to. Should we jump into the Lions Cowboys? Might as well.
It's next in line.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's your team.
Yeah. I mean, I had the Cowboys on both sides. They had -7 and the under. So across the board, knocked that out. You and Ryan both hedged the -7. Ryan had the over, which he missed there. Cowboys ran the football, controlled the game, never in hand by any means, but the defense
Did what the defense
never looked like they were
Correct.
going to give up a touchdown.
Correct. I agree.
The Lions moved the ball a little bit here and there. They had a huge fumble inside the 2 that really changed the trajectory of this game. Then there were 3 turnovers after that when they really started getting after Goff. He fumbled through interceptions. Cowboys kind of sealed the game, made that game look more lopsided than what it was for 3 quarters, basically.
Right.
But that's what a good defense does, and that's what a team that can run the football with 2 different guys. Dak came back, got better throughout the game, which was the big thing you wanted to see. Knock the rust off late in the game, 3rd and 4th quarter, when we need to make throws, when we need to get first downs. Can you do it?
Some good stats
And
about
he
that.
did.
He threw for 70-something%.
Mm-hmm.
He was 14 for 14 for passes under 10 yards.
Yep.
That's what you want coming back into 5 games off.
And my thing with that even more was how bad he was in week 1.
Yeah, that's also true.
Was like, that was the
Right.
scariest thing to me. It wasn't even coming back off of injury. It's like, okay, what happened?
Right. Who is Dak now?
Right. So to see him, his 220-ish yards of, passing yards. So it wasn't anything great, but 160 to 180 on the ground.
You know what, though?
Took care of the football.
I
Did what they needed to do to win.
want to choke McCarthy out.
For?
Because Pollard gets him all the damn goal line, and then you give it to Zeke. I get why.
Yeah.
But when I have Pollard anytime touchdown, and he's on my fantasy team, and I lost by 2 points, just one of those is his. He earned it. Give it to him. One time.
Don't get tackled.
Well, duh, but
Right.
so
No,
that's where
I do. I mean, they've been running a lot of
it's good.
dual back,
yeah.
short yardage stuff
they
where
need
they're
to.
giving Zeke like a short yardage fullback carry. They're still reluctant to quarterback sneak, which I think a lot of that has to do with Dak's thumb.
That would make sense for yes,
But they're at least not trying to get fancy with pitching the ball, running outside the tackles. Like, get Zeke downhill.
he's always been that runner.
And so, like, they're starting to understand it feels like we're calling plays geared towards running back strength. And it's amazing how successful that is.
What?
Why would
you
open field, big play guy, Tony Pollard. 3rd and short guy, Zeke. Goal line guy, Zeke. And
Schultz over the
Zeke
middle?
can run in the middle of the field as well, especially late in games. But bigger than that is just the fact that you have 2 guys who can break open a game in different ways.
Yeah.
And that you're able to use them. Zeke's a better pass protector. So you're going to have him in there in certain situations where maybe you need to hand him the ball and you'd like to see Pollard back there, but you know why Zeke's in the game. So
the tendencies, though, because there's huge tendencies when they're in the game. There has to be, right?
Right.
I, obviously as a defender, you plan for the tendencies, but as an offensive guy and mindset in that regard, you love those tendencies too, because we're not saying that Pollard can't protect. We're not saying that Zeke can't go out on routes.
Right.
We're just saying that one's better than the other.
Right.
The fact is, you can if the defense gets too analytical and relies too heavily on these, these tendencies,
Right.
the tendency breakers are going to break the game open.
Yeah.
And that's what's exciting for the Cowboys going down. And, they've got who do you got? You don't play anybody this week. The Bears.
I mean,
and then a bye week.
I'm
telling you, it's set up, bro.
You see him on Monday night?
Don't.
All right.
Don't.
I gotta hype him up a little bit.
Don't. If they score more than 10 points, you owe
Save
should
myself
shot.
a little
Like, the Cowboys defense should not let up any of that.
On behalf of the Cowboys.
On behalf of the Cowboys, yes.
All right.
so
this next one should be pretty quick.
Yeah. So there's an issue when I bet on the Falcons, they lose.
Yeah, your team finally showed up.
Yeah, the one I thought of all year.
Yeah.
And I know why. We were down. We only had 3 corners remaining at halftime. Total.
Yeah.
Total.
Mm-hmm.
Because of injury, and against those receivers, you can't do that. You can't do it. So they got torched. What was awesome, which is different than a Falcons team, is they still fought.
Right.
I mean, we torch Eli Apple, who gets torched weekly, it seems like. And when I mean Mariota threw a 75-yard touchdown pass to our third receiver, who's only a third receiver because people are hurt and we don't have Calvin Ridley because of gambling. Okay?
Right.
To him on Eli Apple. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that defense showed up. Defense showed up how I thought they would all season, giving up a lot of points.
Yeah.
So that being said, I went super homer. It's a bad idea. We all thought the Falcons would cover the spread, and they had a chance to coming out of half, and then after that up. And so Ryan Cole went to Bengals, and we all crushed the over because one thing we do know, the Falcons will still score.
Right.
The Bengals were going to score more. So that was an easy over. Sunday Night Football.
This game was kind of a dud. It was fine, but
it was like a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
It was
kind of
mad.
flipped. Yeah.
I
mean, Tua came out hot. And then
like I was like, oh, this is going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
And then they literally didn't score for like 2 quarters.
The thing with the Steelers is you kind of see the potential of Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
He's still not disciplined enough. He's got to take care of the football, but he's got weapons, and he's got to.
Pickett to Pickens, by the way.
Oh,
that's a thing.
Yep.
That is
that's the future.
That's the future
there, and they've got Claypool and Deontay Johnson there, so like they've got weapons.
Claypool's on the trading block though.
That's fair. I mean, he probably needs to be. They've got some assets there that they can try to build elsewhere. Harris
some help
at back, Najee Harris, solid running back. So like, you got to find a way to protect.
Yeah.
And then defensively, they've just got some holes on that defense. They're not terrible. They're not great, but yeah, I mean, it feels like they're closer than their record would.
I would
say
agree.
as far as that.
I would agree.
Which with a Tomlin coach team, they're always going to be competitive. So
yeah, I agree. I don't know why you went over though.
Tua coming back and Pickett.
They're going to score 40 themselves.
No, I just thought Steelers are going to have to throw the ball all game. You got Pickett, who's been willing and thrown over for 300 yards.
To be fair, in the first quarter, it was going over.
Right, and then Tua coming back, throwing to those weapons. Like honestly, I saw this as like a 31-24 type of game,
which it easily could have been.
Yeah, so
there's not a clip. I don't know if I put it in our thing, but Tua putting his head down.
Yeah. Like second drive of the game. Yeah, he apologized after the game in his press conference.
What?
Yeah.
First of all, quarterbacks don't do that. Just Josh Allen, you can't.
Right.
Everyone else,
but he doesn't put his head down.
What are you doing?
He just
trucks him.
Yeah.
Tua put
hurdles.
his head down. He put his head first.
Yeah. No, bad idea. Just
the head that's not
really bad.
Still
look.
not right.
Just a really bad look for him.
What?
Oh, well, did you see the Lions Cowboys game? Amon-Ra St. Brown got
don't
shook up and removed from the game and not allowed to go back in and never tested for it. He doesn't have a concussion.
Yeah, guess who had him at 25 plus?
Guess who has him on every fantasy team?
Guess what SGP that I could have won $100 on got failed because of it. Yep. Mm-hmm. No, I track that one.
Right. So like I have a problem with that because you watch that play, you watch him get up. There's no reason he should have been kept out of that game after he went to the tent.
Nope.
So,
but yet
we're still not getting it right when we're watching the games, and I just don't like that. Just continues to baffle me.
I would even been good with them like calling down, taking Tua out, and being like,
"Right,
I'm gonna test you out now because you just did. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. You should be removed from the game
stupidity.
For being an idiot.
Maybe you're still concussed. I'm not sure, but you shouldn't lead with your head at all. But literally, when you've been concussed that way,
that's fair.
Little Monday Night Football action. Yeah. Again, lost money on it, so I really wasn't too thrilled. Yeah. But wow, the Bears.
The Bears in crappy weather at home. Game 1, game 7, whatever this week is. Week 6, week 7. No, it's week 7.
Man, but I'm still not. Like,
no, you can't
Fields is a runner to me. Like he's not,
and he holds the ball too long in the pocket.
They won, but we're not talking about good things here. Not good things.
No, but I mean, they won against the Patriots, who you would always anticipate Belichick to have a scheme against a guy who is fairly one-sided.
I thought he would have stopped him, but
then you had the quarterback stuff that we talked about with Jones and Zappi. Bears defense played well, and even though the Patriots got back in that game, they played 4 good quarters of football.
Correct.
Solid quarters of football. So
Patriots, all I needed was
good
money
for you,
line
Bears.
first half. That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
All you ever needed.
So did
on
poorly.
the flip side,
we each got one
there-
right.
Yeah. Shitty shots on me.
Yeah, because of the whole tiebreaker,
Right.
not tiebreaker thing that turned into shitty shots on you. Good thing there's
Yeah.
one left.
There is.
So that sucks.
So
while you
money
get that
line
out,
lock.
I'll do best bets. Money line lock got the Jets. Yeah. Duh. That was an easy one. Chiefs for Colt again. Those are pretty easy, pretty solid. Spread lock. I had the Colts. I thought really they would play better, but horrid. Obviously Cole going with the Jets. Then
Yeah.
that was a lock.
Mm-hmm.
Saints Cards Thursday night. Football unders. Yeah, that failed for me. It happens. You'll be all right. And then Cole went Jags, Giants.
Under.
See, I thought that would have went over. That's a good call. It should have went on.
Neither
over.
one of those teams like they feel like they want to score, but they don't actually know how to score.
Right.
It's like the guy that goes to the bar
Yeah.
and is just like, oh yeah, I'm going out tonight. Got my wingman. Like gonna pick up a chick. Chick walks up and the dude just
Fumbles it away. Legitimate. Yeah. You're right.
Almost.
DGen pick. I don't understand why you wouldn't pick the Seahawks here.
That's a great pick.
I mean, there's just
Playing good football.
There was good value, and they're playing good football. They're hot,
Yeah.
and the Chargers are a mess still. Cole went with the Saints Giants parlay there, and well, the Saints stopped marching in, so that's where we're at there. And that is our recap.
Much to your delight.
Yes. Oh, great stuff. And that's why we're still, well, not them, but thanks to the Panthers is why we're still number 1 in the division.
There you go.
Which is nauseating stuff. All right. Whoa.
See what happens over there?
Whoa.
You gotta watch it over there.
Foot just slipped. All right. Let's get to some fun stuff. Let's see if I can't. Oh, no. I have to sign back in.
Whatever you do, don't break it.
Well, I have to now tell Chris what time life is. Time we're at.
Nope. Camera 2 is foggy. It's just me. Maybe that
It's out of focus.
makes me look better. It's the gray blur.
Did it just happen on the shitty shot, or has
I
it
think
been
it's
there?
been that way. But the thing is, like, I haven't really been paying attention down there, but on the far, like on the camera, it's clear. Like on the camera itself.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You just can't see.
Dude, my eyes are better than yours.
No.
Oh, we're gonna have to have an eye test.
An
off.
eye test. Eye test off.
You'll read the bottom line.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is there an autofocus button on that?
Yeah.
Or do I need to-
I'll get it because you'll have to go in front of everything.
I don't want that. Nobody needs that. Go focus me.
Go focus you.
Make me the foci. Careful. Watch the cords. Don't turn anything off. Don't lose audio.
Also, don't get in the autofocus.
There we go. You're good. Oh, nope. You had it. There we go. Oh, yeah, it looked way better before.
I was hot earlier. Looked so much better.
It's way better when I was the blur of Bigfoot.
The blur of Bigfoot. All right.
What do you got here?
What's this? What's happening?
Oh.
Oh, I'm in the wrong profile. I was like,
Are you signed into mine?
no, that
Oh.
was Goon Squad. It's just a direct message to Goon Squad.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. Let's go from the top. Or oh no, that was the week prior, right?
Yeah, we saw those.
That was funny. All right, cut to it. Anybody get this reference? Debo, McCaffrey, and San Fran. Anybody?
Yeah, but
Anybody?
that's a slap in the face to white men can't jump.
Absolutely is. Absolutely is. So I agree.
That's one of the best movies of all time, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
But does everybody think that way?
Probably not.
Like, is it underrated then?
I don't know. I think.
Are we just old? Or is it just properly rated?
I think we're just old. Personally,
I love that movie.
Did you see this game? Anybody? Like 3 seconds left, 4 seconds left. Hail Mary time, hook ladders, do all the pitches, and this quarterback just decides to run out of bounds to end the game. And he knows it. He didn't even try.
I mean, did he realize right there that if he unloads, he's just getting killed?
Yeah, but like,
I mean, I'm trying to think of this. I'm trying to like think of it from a quarterback perspective.
What the hell
here.
could go through your? But it's like
right there. No, I mean, as soon as you start running that way, though, you've screwed yourself from being able to get anything on the football. So he knows he can't get it to the receivers, but you got to throw that ball while you're in the pocket.
Yeah.
So like, it just has to. It has to come out. So like,
why didn't he step up?
No, I completely agree. But I'm just saying, like, right here, he's looking. Here's what's going through his mind. So he scrambles. Not a scrambling quarterback, it doesn't look like to me.
Also needs to buy time because the receivers still aren't out.
But where he needs to go right there is up and to the right. Whoop. And now
because
you
then
can
these two guys can.
Now this guy, now the guard, as soon as he goes by, the guard turns back and blocks number 1. 87's going to come off, but you're going to be able to get,
you have time.
To get away from him.
If not,
and then you're going to be able to get everything into your throw because you're a right-handed quarterback
and you're running into
down
it.
the field.
Or
you can do this,
or you can scramble left.
Which the problem is right here. He wants to throw
it.
the ball, and he realizes it does not matter what I do. I can't get the ball to them.
But that's true. But I'm
not saying you shouldn't throw it. I'm just saying right there.
He could still throw. He's got his running back right here, and he just points to him. Flip it to him.
That's the
right here.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, but
if you would have just said, "Hey,"
right, just throw it over his head. I mean,
you gotta try something.
Right.
You can't run out of bounds.
I mean, maybe even throw it to the other team. Try to strip the ball and then run it for like anything at that point, right? I get it.
Pitch it
I'm
back
just
to your
saying,
damn.
Where he screwed up was the scramble left when he had clear
this
step
right
up, and yeah. So
okay.
I mean, Georgia Tech, you know.
Just good old Georgia. I mean,
you expecting big things out of Georgia Tech quarterbacks is.
I just want decent quarterback play.
A bit much, I think.
Just want decent quarterback play. I'm a defender. I just want smart. I had to put. First of all,
he's open.
This is a throw.
Mm-hmm. Cover 2.
Oh, it's just.
Yeah, but I mean, should you be making throws?
Absolutely not.
I mean,
no.
Yes and no.
But they're up big.
It depends on what you saw. Like, if you knew that you had the corner beat when you made the throw. So we don't that's the problem with this view is we have no idea like how much did he have the corner beat before that ball came out.
True.
Pretty good. So like,
oh no, he's pretty beat.
You know what I mean? Like the corner's not in play because he's cover 2. So like that corner's got to make
great play.
Yeah, I mean,
great play.
And then the other guy's irrelevant. So it's that throw is all
just
even though it's a really good throw. Don't get me wrong, but like
he's not in play. Is what you're saying? Like in the thought process.
No, to me, he's the only guy in play.
Oh, only one in play. Got it.
Because as a quarterback, my read is he's flat defender.
This is irrelevant. He's beat.
He's always going to be beat. He's going to get outflanked to the corner.
If I can get
my receiver has to beat the safety.
Right.
So if I know I can beat the corner, it's a one-on-one throw.
Right.
And so like when he lets that ball go, again, great throw, great catch.
It was a fantastic
But as far as like
Like, look at that. I mean, that's
the throw. I mean, the catch was probably actually better than the throw.
yeah,
honestly, the way he had to catch that ball at that angle.
yeah.
I mean, you can't cover that. I mean, if you're Iowa though, like you go to the film room and you tip your cap. Like we ran our cover 2. We sank. We got a linebacker that can tackle if he gets loose, and we got a safety that's literally on top of the dude as he's catching the ball. So
this is when they say good offense beats great defense.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, boys.
Yeah.
That's the point there, right there. They're also up 33-10.
Oh, right.
But I love that. I just had to highlight that one. That was a good one. I don't think we have the full thread. But I have to highlight.
Oh, nice snap. Were they trying to take a safety here?
For those that didn't know, I long snapped in college.
Also, the punter's number 62. I just want to point that out real quick.
I didn't notice that before.
Like, did somebody forget his jersey?
Probably. All those names on it.
Yeah. Well, somebody's name is
Someone's name's on it.
Let's be clear.
Okay. So, was on a team as a freshman that had a long snapper that did this 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
However, they were not all for safeties. Okay. If you don't know who's playing here, it is, what is this? Montana State versus I don't even St. Francis, I think.
Beautiful.
Irrelevant. First of all, they're winning the game.
The team that's punting
by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
I don't know which number this is, but it is an NCAA record.
Okay.
I just don't know which one we are on.
Okay.
But this is the best, like, from a viewership standpoint of what a long snapper has to look at, what everyone's doing, and where the punter is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just from my overview, I don't know his snapping style or any of that. I was a one-handed snapper, very rare. Mm-hmm. So my angle, where my hips were, is what I'm going to point out first. I see alignment here.
I agree.
Okay. Yep. Golfers, like this is where we're going to. This ball is coming here, regardless, in my opinion. Again, don't know much else.
Right.
But we'll play the tape.
But also, like, once you're already aligned there, then the miss is never going to be back to the left.
It's not going to be over here.
You're going to miss further right.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Another thing that would count for what he needs to do in these formations, when they have like these guys standing up and this punt formation, really actually frees up the center as a gunner. Now we have 3 gunners.
Yeah, which is probably why that guy's a little smaller too, because he's probably
faster,
fleet of foot.
Get through him. Now you have 3 gunners in it, and then you can really pin him in. Regardless, there is no pressure coming from these guys.
No, this is a safe punt because they're in a 4-4.
Which, by the way, don't know why they're safe punting on their 20. Like, here's the 30. They're on the 20. I think, anyways,
people probably set up in, like, this is easier to block downfield to set up return.
Yeah, that's fair.
Against this type of
I could
set up.
Yeah, especially because you're going to need to. Because I'm pretty sure these 2 guys are here.
Right.
By the way, so that's fine. All right, so he has no protection problems.
Yep.
Doesn't have to rush a snap. Actually, could be very slow delivery.
Right.
You're good.
Right. You don't have anybody over the top of you. Nobody's running through.
Snap. Run.
Yeah. 100%.
Now, I will say, when you're in this situation, you want to snap, get out fast because you need to make a move. And you're excited because you're like, I don't have to protect.
Right.
I need to beat this guy.
Right.
I'm going to make a tackle. So
that's how he snapped it.
These are all the mindsets that are going into what's happening. However, this happened.
I mean, if I set that up and we removed everyone from the frame except for 62 and 99, more likely to receive this snap.
Oh, yeah.
Based on his alignment,
I would say it's a fake.
Is 99's left shoulder.
So we're going to roll the tape.
I mean, he hiked it over 99. If you told me someone paid him $10 to do that, I said.
Now, I don't know if this is their backup, which I don't think it is because it was in the beginning of the game.
So, like, newly at home, my 5-year-old has decided that he wants to snap the ball, the Nerf ball to me before he runs out for routes.
Please don't teach him this.
So I have to move his butt to your point,
To
to make sure. I was like, no, you're going to snap it off the blinds, or no, you're going to snap it over the couch and so he moves and then he snaps it to me. Yeah. And then every once in a while he gets excited, comes back and goes straight down into snapping mode. And this thing, it goes up over my head or whatever. And he understands. This is exactly what that reminds me of, is a toddler snap. Just so that we're clear. Like, that's how bad this is.
So that's how we pre-snapped aligned, right?
Yeah.
Now, in this, I think they're doing a rugby. So everyone like essentially zone blocks to the right. If you watch this, or to the left, because he's getting out to run to the right.
Right.
So maybe that's why he's angled there. I'll give the benefit
fine,
of the
but I mean, he's off by 15 yards.
They are zoning him back to do that. However, this dude's not a threat to block the punt to the actually. This guy is zero threat to blocking a punt over here.
Correct.
Okay, so you have still nothing to worry about. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I get all that. Right. Fine, you're probably trying to snap it here because he's supposed to, which I don't understand. But anyways, this snap is so bad. How are you in college football snapping this ball?
I have no idea. I mean, you wouldn't be allowed in high school football.
It's not even. I need an analogy.
I should say that at no level. I mean, including
No
junior
level.
high football, that's you can't snap it that bad. That's not
That's not even close.
It's not even like that. Snap has a lot of velocity on it either.
The zero. The punter's first steps are it's over.
Here's the thing. He does not react as if this is a bad snap.
Because it's that bad. What is he? I don't know. Again, this might be the number 2 or whatever he might be anticipating.
Right.
I want to see if I can find this in the thread. This is the first one.
Okay.
Oh, they have them all.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
There was how many?
4 total. NCAA record. They're all safeties. This was Weber State. Look at the score. Look at the score. Granted, it was 24-7 on the first one.
Yep.
So it's now 24-9.
Now it's
Gets
24-11.
the ball.
Okay.
Tell me what you see different besides they're further out. Okay. The punters at this point it's a worse snap.
He does this. Well, that was
further.
my point though, in pointing out that he didn't realize it was a bad. He didn't feel like it was bad. Are we not practicing on the sideline?
The ball is in air.
Yeah.
Your punter is sprinting backwards. Ball
Correct.
hasn't hit ground. Just hit ground. Okay. All right, that's number 2.
Well, and 62 is an athlete too. Like if he would catch anything that's in his.
Punters can catch the ball.
Well, that's what they do all day.
Yeah. So it went to 24-11.
Yep.
I'm sure then they went down and drove and scored because guess
this
what?
is all still in the
you
first,
give them points and the ball.
and a great field position.
In great field position. So let's do this again.
Closer. I think I would have caught that.
I think you have to start anticipating, which you did, by the way. Look at the punter's first steps.
Backing up. Like he was ready.
He was actually ready this time. Ball ended up in the same spot. They were blowing blowing them out. Okay.
Oh, whoa, there was 4?
I told you there's an NCAA record for 4. Okay. This is, by the way, look at the score and look at the time. We went from the second quarter with 10 minutes. We're only in the third quarter, 12 minutes.
By the way, that guy is not going back out there after number 2 if I'm the coach. And I don't care.
To be fair.
No. We have a center who does shotgun snaps.
Is way better.
Yep.
At least even if he skips it there, it's
Even if
getting
it's
there.
slow. It's straight. And my guy is going to have a
Drake.
chance. That's bad coaching.
At Drake, do you remember? Clot.
Oh,
He did this
yeah.
twice. And
Well,
then
not 4.
no, he did it twice. And then I think
But they
Harvey
still
came in
weren't
and did it
that
once. It was
bad.
3. No, they were nowhere near this.
I mean, we at least had a chance at
they
2
were
of those.
nowhere near this.
Right.
This is he should never play again in the history of.
No. This is bad coaching. You cannot put this kid back out there after number 2.
Okay, so we're on number 4 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, you've given them 8 points. You've given them an entire touchdown and 2-point conversion.
Like, this one, it might be the worst of all of them.
No.
Number 3 was the best. So you go from 3, you're kind of close. You would think
1 was the worst.
You would think you're feeling it, right? 3, I'm honing it in.
Right.
I'm honing it in.
I get it.
Honing it in. And nothing. The best part is they took his protection responsibility away.
All right, but I mean, that didn't have anything to do with it. It's not like he was going too quick into protection when you watch him. He wasn't rushed into protection. That's bad coaching at that point.
That lost them the game.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Lost them the football.
They were up 24-7.
Sometimes one player cannot lose you a game.
Yeah. You're only as good as your weakest link.
Long snappers are important. Just saying.
Yeah, especially when they can't long snap.
Oh my Lord!
All right.
All right. What do we got left?
I don't know.
What is it? Why won't it let me?
I don't even, what is that play?
I don't know.
Oregon, UCLA. You must have put this
on. What was I thinking? Oh, found it. I know why.
The old
this is great.
The best part is it worked out for him.
Oh, right.
Because it actually allowed his blocker to make his block.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hold. I don't know if you watch him pull him. That's a hold. But like,
and another one as he goes around him. I can still have a hold of him. Not let him go.
They didn't call that, by the way.
Well, I mean, good for them. Keep the pace of play going.
That was funny. That was just one of those ones like, wow. All right.
Let's see. Wait, did you have...
This is from you.
Yes. Yeah, this is... Stop. Okay, so this is the story. This is why this goes back to 3-4 weeks ago when I told you, like, bad quarterback play. What are we looking at in the film room? Anything like that.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I don't know what the down and distance is, but I think this is 3rd and medium, 3rd and short.
Right.
So, we're in the pocket, clean pocket, no rush. You've got slot guy on the right side taking care of that defender. So, you were reading the middle linebacker here, which is that guy right there. You have basically a crossing route and an in route between
I don't know who that is.
Arlen Bruce, and then that's the tight end Laporta
so
there.
He's gonna cross.
So he's gonna cross.
He's gonna run it in behind.
So you're gonna do it. You got 2-on-1 against the middle linebacker as far as sticking this ball in, getting in the first down, moving the sticks. One read. Petrus is not looking at the defense right here. Petrus is looking at number 84.
And you mean defense? You mean anybody?
No. He is staring down one receiver, which this is a Petrus MO. This is why I put this on here, because this is exactly why he can't play on Saturday. Has nothing to do with offensive line, has nothing to do with guys being open. Like, all of those things are negative for Petrus. I get it. They're bad. The play calling, bad, fine. All of those things. Right now, as a quarterback, I know I have a front side read, which would be his right side, where I'm 1-on-1, and I assume they have another receiver out there, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, this is 3.
Yeah, but they have no backs.
Oh, no backs. Got it.
So they're like, I can either choose my 1-on-1 side, which is to the wide side of the field, probably not the wisest, especially if it's 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, or I have a 2-on-1 against the middle linebacker. My only read is that middle linebacker.
Yep.
So if I want to stare down a guy, I can stare down the middle linebacker. That's fine. Make him make a choice. He either gets to jump the inside route to the tight end, or he gets to run with my receiver, and now my tight end has inside position. I can stick the ball into the tight end. Petrus has already made up his mind right now that this ball is going to 84. It's the only guy he's looking at. You can't argue to me that he is looking at the defense. Because it doesn't matter. Even if he's only looking at Bruce, he's looking at his and that's not how you play quarterback. You do not look at the offensive guys. You know where your guys are going to be.
You should.
You have to know. You have to read. You don't read the offense as a quarterback.
You read the defense.
It's called reading defenses for a reason. So he's not reading.
The best part is the backer also has eyes on 84.
Well, I mean, and whoever like that's my
I think
point.
the safety's coming down to
either way.
catch
There's
here, but like
one place this ball needs to go.
Regardless of this,
So
right?
Here's my only question. Right now, where are his eyes?
Still here.
Yeah.
Not here, still here.
His eyes have not left that position the whole time.
They even, yeah. I mean, so progression.
No, right here, pre-snap. Here, this is even better. Pre-snap. See, look, the broadcast even told Petrus who to look at.
We didn't do that on
didn't
purpose,
see that
but
part.
that is awesome. Yes.
So, like, you're 2-on-2, man-to-man on the backside. So if you don't like the matchups, the route combination, whatever, move off from it. You know those two guys are taking
But you
care
have
of.
to look here first, right?
Where?
To the right.
No, pre-snap?
On the man's?
No.
You
Here's why. No, here's why, though. Because you know those guys are taken care of. It's 0-on-0 over there. So now you want to find, and as a quarterback,
advantage.
I want to find where my 2-on-1 is.
Right.
So what one person, based on the route combination I know is coming, I know I have a guy running to that empty spot over there because that safety is out of the picture. If he stands there, Nico Regani's going for a touchdown.
Yeah. Post right here.
He's not going to be standing there. So they basically have a zone concept to trips and a man concept on the backside is kind of what I'm seeing here. Whether they play that, they might be playing quarters over there.
I actually think they're playing match man.
You think it's two man
post snap, yeah.
or just man?
And the only reason I say that post snap, they don't have a safety. He's here. They're man.
I mean, they know Iowa can't throw the ball down the field too. So
I
like,
mean,
that's
also
the
that,
tough part.
But
here's all. I mean, that's the thing though. Is pre-snap,
He
Petrus knows I need to get to the ball to this void.
Yeah.
If I'm going, there's only one person running to that area. Now, if I want to throw to my tight end, then that guy has to void that area.
Right.
He never does. What's he do? He actually turns his back towards the center of the field, meaning that he can only cover one guy.
Right.
And now there's going to be 2 and/or 3 guys on the guy that Petrus is going to throw to. And Arlen Bruce might have scored a touchdown on that play if he gets the ball. Because watch what the receivers do. The receivers are going to clear on the right side.
So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to flip it. Okay. They're in some, I don't.
By the way, this is bad coverage.
This is awful coverage. Maybe. And I'll only say maybe because I'm watching this guy now. So I'm pretty sure they're just manned up and they're doing a match with the safety. If someone flies over, he'll take it.
So you think they're in zero?
I don't know. They're in something. It's kind of funky. They also might have messed up. But what I'm watching is this backer feels like he is in some type of match zone to me, or matchup to me, or spy or something. Because watch, when he snaps, first of all,
there's no running back.
his eyes is on the run. His eyes are here.
They're just doubling Laporta.
Before the snap, he's cheating. He'll cheat.
Yeah, for what reason?
First of all, the right tackle was so slow off the ball. That's what happened, by the way. He cheats. Still cheating, by the way. Then he snaps his head straight to 84.
Yeah.
Look, that's all he's looking at.
I see you.
All he's looking at. And then he goes back to Petrus. He doesn't even, he's fielding here, not looking there.
He can't
cover.
He can't cover Bruce in that.
From a coverage standpoint, this is probably what should have happened. He's got to take first under.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. Are they gonna?
This guy takes a second under.
Force trying to switch that then.
Yeah, I think that
they just didn't pass it off.
It looked like that he didn't. Well, at this point, he saw eyes, so he just bailed on it because he also saw his guy coming. So good play, eyes wise.
Yeah, but I mean he never had that guy covered.
But he never had him covered. That's my thing is he's open now,
and he's going to be open. Like
you
know where
should just
my whole point is that's the thing with Petrus.
You know where he's going.
He has to know where he's going. There has to be anticipation.
Because you could do, and I'm speaking for a quarterback here, a few things that could happen here at this moment. One, you could have stepped up and just,
especially knowing that you're throwing a short route,
step up and just like lob it to here because he's going to run through there.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you get to that scenario, right? Before we get right here. You also can let it go.
Yeah, that guy's he's got.
Now you might end up hitting this guy maybe, but like
out leveraging him.
He's on a sprint and he's flat-footed. He can't He can't get there.
I mean, 91 didn't even pass rush.
No.
There is such a big window right there. Like, the only guy who can make that play is the ref.
There's multiple touchdowns on this play.
Yeah. I mean, watch Reganey.
We got a post that's wide open.
Yeah. There's nobody in the middle of the field.
Like, these are touchdowns.
It's bad coverage.
Touchdown 1, touchdown 2. Right. Awful coverage.
I can't say touchdown. I won't even say touchdown 2 with the Reganey thing. Well, with Reganey, just because I don't know that he gets the ball out of his hands in time.
That's fair.
But again, you know where your receiver's going. There's no anticipation.
To Iowa offensive line not playing well. He got off the ball slow and then went out.
It was just lazy.
This is just bad.
Blocking.
Look at this.
Ball
snaps.
Like somebody,
he's late and then goes out flat like
and
it's
then
a 3-step drop.
Throws an arm like he's gonna.
Like that's gonna do anything. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? You better turn around and help and bail on him fast. Nothing. Okay.
Yep. Sorry.
That's enough.
Going to get our Iowa digs in.
And then here it is. The best thing that happened all weekend. You broke the U. Never seen this before. Love it.
This is
about it.
This is the Duke University Blue Devil football team.
Not basketball, correct?
Sticking it to the U.
Yeah.
And number 30 breaking the U over his knee. It's just there's like very few celebrations that I've seen that I love more than that. It's top 5 for me. Right.
That was awesome.
You know, I mean, you got horns down for Texas and all of that stuff, but like this.
Well, now I want them to break the horns. Like I need, right, but like awesome, you can't.
But like just this in the moment, I just wasn't ready for it,
and it just got you.
I mean, part of it is that like I feel like I haven't seen it done before, so like therefore like there's the originality of it. Yeah, it was amazing.
It was great. Quick shout out. Hopefully it doesn't play audio. Go follow Annie Agar for these specific week reviews.
Yes, she does basically NFL spoofs,
and they are,
and
they're
phenomenal. For those locally,
absolutely.
Chris Hassel does a lot of the spoof stuff. This is very similar to his comedy. She's phenomenal. Look forward to them coming out every week. I always send them to our group.
Great.
And this week was even Halloween themed, so it was funny as well.
That's really good.
Yeah,
get at it. Falcons, Falcon, baby. Okay, we love setting records, right?
Longest losing streak when trying to go above average.
First of all, we have not been above 500 since I think 2019 season. 18, which is 19, whatever. We're at 12 losing when we're at 500 to break free.
I mean, I don't really have anything.
There's nothing there to say. It was just like let's just.
It's just the stat of the day.
Just
depressing stats of the day.
Guys, we in here, right, or whatever they say nowadays. Quick refill, and then we'll get to
picks for the week
because college will go fast.
Yes, indeed.
All right, there ain't much there.
Whatever you do, don't touch anything while we're gone.
Well, I'm letting you do it because I need to fill out this thing for Chris and not screw it up. Thank you, sir.
Look into this thing.
Good evening.
It didn't think I was you.
Oh, we gave that away.
Nose size?
Nose size. Absolutely.
Yeah. Eye color?
Eye color.
My retinal scan didn't work.
We're back. And by we, I mean
us.
Everybody?
You were always here.
I was here the whole time.
Yeah. All right.
College football picks.
College football. Slim slate this weekend.
Yeah. I'm not even excited about them.
Here's the thing. Michigan State's this weekend.
Yeah.
And so is Florida, Georgia. Two games that we would have definitely, even 3 weeks ago had on the radar. And now they're 20 plus point spreads and not games even really worth talking about. So
no,
unless of course you like one of those teams to really blow somebody out and or cover a rivalry game. So
fine. Yeah, go ahead.
We may or may not dive into that depending on what we like for picks. But
yeah, they're not. I mean, these aren't even. Obviously, they're top 25 games, but
not games that jump off the page.
Not at all. I'm trying to pull my DraftKings.
I'm going to start with
wherever you want.
Kentucky Tennessee game.
Legitimately, the game of the week is only there because it's the highest rankings.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's literally
Kentucky Tennessee. This game's at Tennessee. Tennessee is a 12.5 point favorite. Total 63.5 for Rocky Top.
Is this a night? No. Yeah, it's a night game. We got 12.5, 63.5. Same thing on DraftKings.
Yeah. So, I mean, any feel for this other than the obvious that would be Tennessee just handling their business?
Like trying to help Kentucky in this conversation?
Yeah. I mean, Kentucky's been fairly competitive in big games.
Yeah, competitive, but
I mean, so is
they've only scored over 31 once. That was against Miami, Ohio. They scored 31 against Youngstown State, 31 against Northern Illinois, 19 against Ole Miss, 14 against South Carolina, and 27 against Mississippi State.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm just
where they score, where they're not going to score.
Okay, they can't score enough is ultimately what.
I mean, clear. We all know that Tennessee is winning this game. Right. It's not like try to play the game.
Right.
Like Tennessee will win this game. I don't see Kentucky getting over 17. So now you're thinking, what's your top side for Tennessee? And that's where I'm at. That's a good question. Last week didn't count in terms of points, but they are averaging a lot of points. If you want to know what they are,
I think you and I are locking on this.
59, 34, 63, 38, 40, 52, and 65.
Mm-hmm. Or are you going over?
I mean, they could get to 50 themselves, but I
just don't see that against the Kentucky defense.
42 probably, maybe 49, but even there, I'm not getting to, what is it?
63.5.
Yeah. This is a 42-17, and the 17 is max for me for Kentucky.
Okay.
So I tried Kentucky, but
So you've got Tennessee covering the 12.5 and the under of 63.5.
Yeah.
I'm also on the under. Kentucky just plays with a lot of pride, a lot of grit. They don't have enough talent, in my opinion, to keep up with what Tennessee has this year.
Now, they got Georgia the week after.
Tennessee does. Yeah.
So,
but you can't. I mean, Kentucky's competitive enough.
I'm trying to help Kentucky.
I know, but you just picked against them, and
I know, but I'm
the
trying
under.
to help
You just
everyone
told
else.
them they could
It's
only
not
get
happening.
17 points.
Why is the Georgia Tennessee game a 2:30 game?
I have no idea. Can that change?
Sorry, I'm a week ahead. I'm excited about that one.
So I'm also I'm tailing here. I'm taking Tennessee to cover the 12.5 and the under. I don't think Tennessee will score as many points simply because I think they'll have this game in hand
And they'll shut it down.
and they'll shut it down a little bit.
They will 100% shut it down.
So, 42 at max in my mind, but even like a 37-14, 37-21
They'll cover.
type of game, they'll cover. And it will stay under 63.5.
Agreed. Okay, State.
Oklahoma State, the Cowboys get Kansas State this weekend, coming off of TCU and Texas the last 2 weeks. Doesn't get any easier for Oklahoma State.
So Martinez is fine.
Well, right.
Line-wise.
Yeah.
Because
Kansas State's favored by 1.5 at home. And 56.5 is the total. I'm going to start with the total.
Just seems disrespectful.
56.5 the total on this game is.
In a Big 12 in a Big 12 game?
But here's my problem with that.
Martinez doesn't play?
And the backup's still injured. Oklahoma State's defense is still terrible, though.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about a third string freshman, probably quarterback.
I'm still going over.
I mean, I'm going over. Like, you're not going to talk me out of that. But I could see why someone would want to argue the under.
Right.
But that's not going to happen.
Thoughts on the game?
I'm confused. I'm really something has to have happened or something we don't know. But ultimately, right? I don't know if this is just like pure disrespectful of OK State, but they're now dogs in back-to-back weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Now on the road, that's fine
Right.
in Dandy, but they're proving it. They're scoring. K-State, as of what I know from the information at hand, they have two quarterbacks that are hurt.
Right.
Somewhat figured they're not 100%. In a game that you're going to have to score 40 plus to win. So
56.5 just seems low.
give me
I'll
OK
give you
State.
State.
I'm gonna ride with them again another week across the board.
Across the board. All right. So far, you and I are.
And I love that
on
bet.
the
That's
exact same.
to me is an easy bet. Someone should ride that. I believe that line flips later in the week. It's Tuesday.
Right.
Okay. I believe that flips, and I'm probably
Get
gonna
it
take
early.
it tonight.
Get it
actually.
early.
That's one of those.
Yeah. Last game, number 2 Ohio State, 15.5 point favorites on the road at Penn State.
16 on DraftKings.
60.5 is the over under.
61. Money.
The big thing
on
here
those.
is Penn State is going to be one of those 5 or 6 point stadiums.
Yeah.
And so this is a 3 touchdown game if it's not at Penn State. So Penn State against Michigan laid an egg in the second half.
Sure did.
Michigan's a better running football team than Ohio State is.
Right.
And so kind of plays on my mind from a perspective of,
Hey,
does that give Penn State a better chance to hang around?
I'm gonna be wide out. Although it's 11. I wish it was a night game.
Is that 11 or 2:30?
It's 11.
Oh, wow.
It's early.
Is it like what?
The timing on these games I don't get it.
It's all about money, man. Unfortunately, it's not about atmosphere.
Like
It's about money.
Who's the night games then? Oh well, I pushed it too hard in it.
Well, Kentucky, Tennessee's a night game.
UCLA, Stanford,
6 o'clock game.
Pittsburgh, North Carolina, Ole Miss, A&M, Michigan, Michigan State. That's why. That's the Big Ten.
So
Yeah, but bump. If they don't bump it next week, I might lose my mind. Ohio State's winning the game. I want to know if they'll shut it down or not. I don't think they will.
15.5 though is just. I mean, it's big, but it's
Weird.
It's not that big.
Then they play North. I mean, they're cakewalk until, so they're gonna want to pull up points. Yeah, give me Ohio State and give me the 60. Oh. I don't know. Penn State, are you gonna score? Can someone tell me if Penn State will score?
Throw it around a little bit.
45,
They're
17, 17.
Score 20.
Yeah, they'll score 20.
41-20.
Yeah, it's thinking more like 45-20, but still. God. Yeah, give me the over. That's a lot of. Hey, ride or die. Ride or die. We're probably going to die. Obviously, if we get all three wrong, and we're shitty shotting, right? Like, if we get all three and we. Yeah. That's for the
fans. Ryan, we are giving you a chance this week. We are literally locked on our
across
picks.
the board. So if you want to play the game and hedge yourself, which you will.
Yeah. He's hedging at least one of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see how he comes in there. But best bets.
All right. There's some value this week.
I thought I saw a lot of value. A lot of spread value.
Lot of spread, yeah.
So let's save that for last then, since we like the value there. Anything that jumped out to you over under wise?
Oh, okay.
I've got two games.
You done messed that up, Ron?
What'd you have?
Well, I wasn't ready for that one.
You weren't ready for anything, let's be honest.
No, let's be honest, but I definitely was not looking at those.
Fair. So I've got two games.
Okay. I bet one of them's one of mine.
One of them is Iowa Northwestern.
That's the first one.
It's 37.5. The problem with this game is that Iowa is also a 10.5 point favorite.
11 on DraftKings. Northwestern will.
Why? Is Iowa's defense going to score 21?
I don't know.
So, I mean, I consider both sides. I'd stay away from Iowa altogether, but they're not getting to 37.5 points. Okay, you agree on that. The other game that I looked at was the Florida-Georgia game. That game is Georgia 22.5 point favorites against rival Florida at home. Georgia's at home. Yep. It's 56.5. Florida can score a little bit. They just can't really stop anybody. And Georgia hasn't proven that they're just a juggernaut from stopping people.
45, 23, 24 game.
Like, that's an over at 56.5. Gosh. So we both like both of those. Just throwing those two out, though. I saw both of those. I think I'm going to go with the Florida-Georgia over, though, for mine.
Okay. All right. Florida-Georgia line? Yeah, what's the Florida-Georgia line? Over?
22.5.
Yikes. USC, Arizona.
Okay.
75.5.
Over, obviously.
Yeah, right. In your bra. That's going under. USC's had some games that should have been hyped and gone over, and they end up being well under. And 75.5.
I don't think Arizona can score that much with them.
I don't think so either. I also don't think USC is going to score lights out either. They just have not been efficient and all game long. So that one's my lock. I like it.
All right.
Where are we going to now since you're in control?
Well, hey.
Jesus.
Well, let's just do the spread lock then.
All right, man. Let's go to
let's go to the money line lock. Who's your money line lock? I got Wake Forest.
Louisville.
Minus 182 at Louisville. Wake Forest now is ranked 10th in the country.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to feel about that.
I don't either.
I mean, they're a good football team, but if they're the 10th best team in the country, then that tells you a lot about college football. That's all I got to say.
College football is it's having a tough time. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Let's see here. How do I want to play this game? How do I want to play the game?
Who's Drake playing?
I will pick whoever they're playing.
Yeah.
It's not going to be under minus 200.
Touche.
Not a good. Oh, yeah. Texas Tech minus 140 over Baylor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
Kind of interested in that one, actually.
I think that should be a good game. I don't see that game playing out that way, though. All right.
We'll get it. All right. Now, what'd you do? Spready spread?
A little spread lock.
Think Michigan State hangs around? Or are they just bad?
No, I think they're bad.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about Michigan is that they're just not afraid to run the football. And, like, when good teams aren't afraid to run the football, they usually cover.
Yeah.
Because you don't, like, even if you slow down, you don't just stop. Like, it doesn't, if you're not dependent on pass. So, I've got a few written down as well. Let's see. What did I like the most? You got TCU 7.5 against West Virginia, who has just seemingly quit playing football this year.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's getting 24.5 points against Florida State. Florida State's just not that good.
But
they're
going to win, but they're not. 20. That's a lot of points. They're not
4 touchdowns. Like,
we've talked about Florida State leveling up.
Right.
That's like they're going to beat them.
Right.
And they'll be fine, but they're not.
The problem that I would like. I have with going with that now is how Georgia Tech ended the last game.
That's true.
So I'll probably stay away from that. Northwestern getting 10.5 against Iowa is just almost an obvious one because if Iowa gets 10 points, it's a damn miracle.
Well, I mean, yeah, true.
So like there's that portion of that,
there's
but
just
also
not gonna be
like
enough points scored there.
If Iowa gets 13, they might cover. So because 13-2 or 13-0 is very much in play against Northwestern. Washington State's getting 22.5 points against
Utah.
Is that right?
Let me find it.
No. Sorry. That's not right. Washington State's my D-Gen pick. Florida's getting 22.5 against Georgia. That's
what that is.
Yep.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to go with TCU. 7.5 against West Virginia.
I mean, we might have picked a lot of picks together, but I'm not trying to do it down here. So I'm glad you moved that.
That's right.
Mine's Stanford's plus 16.5 over UCLA. This is Stanford
getting 16.
Yeah, they get 16.5.
Oh man, I don't. Yeah, you're gonna lose that bet.
I don't think so. This is one of those games
coming into their own.
Well, no. Stanford ends up playing a top-tiered Pac-12 team.
Mm-hmm.
Tough, sometimes beats them.
Right.
In a night game, middle of the season, UCLA are off of a letdown and a beating.
Just get a beat down more than a letdown.
And Stanford's going to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I see them eating up clock, keeping it close.
Right.
And it's probably going to be at 17. And then I'm going to be pissed off.
All right. Well, I already revealed my D-Gen pick. Washington State at home plus 225 against the Fighting Utes of Utah.
Wow. I got nothing. No, I do. This is for everyone back home in Nebraska.
Okay.
This is for them. First time that a ranked team that they're able to beat in God knows how long. Give me Nebraska plus 245 over Illinois at home. Also, do you see the total in this one? 50.5.
I don't have a feel on this game. Illinois' defense has been good this year.
They don't. Both teams aren't going to score. But anyways, Nebraska.
Like this is a game that we don't expect, and then it will
80.
end up like.
Yeah.
I mean, not even 80, but it'll end up like 35-32, or something like that. Being exciting football. I hope that's a good football game. He has the potential.
2:30 Saturday.
Oh.
All right.
There we are for college.
We're to where I make my money because college is not where I do that.
That's not what I do.
That's all in this guy. If you're gonna follow picks,
you're tailing picks.
NFL, college, and don't mix them.
Right.
Don't try to do anything crazy.
Don't be fancy.
Like just stick to the
fancy
basics.
like Applebee's here.
Right. All right. Little Thursday night football action. So we went from talking shit about Thursday night football Monday night last week to them being good games to Sunday being the snoozer.
Right.
And on paper, those looked awful, and the Sunday looked better. Slightly better. This week, I like these matchups. I believe they should be interesting games.
Which probably leads to them being duds.
So they'll be 6-3 games.
Yeah.
We start off with, Ravens at Bucks, and they're favored 1.5. Total is 45.5.
I'm going to preface all of our picks this week with we as an NFL fandom betting world are being set up this week.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick with what I've seen, and you have to prove it. Yeah. But I just want to preface with I feel like we're being set up.
Okay.
Because Ravens 1.5 at Bucks, with how the Bucks have been playing, the fact that they refuse to run the football, and the fact that the Ravens can do both of those things. Unfortunately, they can't finish games, which is why I think this game's 1.5 and it's on the road. The Ravens should win this football game going away.
But they're going to load it up. Want us all to load it up.
Right. And it's Brady. And so then, don't never bet against Tom, except for this year. Always bet against Tom.
Right.
But no, I will be on the Ravens.
Oh, yeah. I'm right there with the Ravens. 45.5, though?
No, we're under.
When was the last time the Bucks scored 20?
We're under all day. And I know you're under. It's Thursday Night Football.
Absolutely. Bucks have scored 3 last week. 18, 21, 31, 12, 20, 19. Like, where?
Yeah. No, not happening.
Where? First of all, they opened up with you guys and beat you 19-3. Yeah. That feels like last season. Preseason is what that feels like. Like, that doesn't even, those teams are not close.
4 field goals and a garbage touchdown.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and give, yeah, we're good. Baltimore under. I don't see why you'd bet anywhere else.
Bears boys? 9.5 at home for the Cowboys.
Which is not good.
Hey.
Maybe this year's different?
I mean, when you have a defense, it's different.
Yeah, that's huge.
I just don't know that it's like that much of an advantage. It's just like we have a defensive advantage this year, which helps at home.
42.5 though?
42.5, not a lot of points. But I still don't know if it's enough. Like I feel like I'm on the under.
Really?
Yeah. Do you think the Bears are getting 10?
No. I have them at 13 max, max, and that's like with a pick 6.
Okay,
like something has to happen.
So Dallas can get 28, and you're still under.
Yeah,
I don't see Dallas. Dallas isn't just going to go that's the thing is Dallas when they control the game, like they should in this game, they're going to run the football.
They won't go for 40. Yeah, I agree.
Unless Fields just starts to turn the ball over because they're trying to play catch up.
I agree there.
I'm on the under on this. To me, that was the easy one.
Well, the line's easy to me. Go ahead. The boys are winning the game. The Bears aren't good enough for that. Now, 9.5.
A lot of points.
9.5 is something else, though.
Is the question here how good you think the Bears defense is?
Yeah.
Or how much do you think Dak has improved? Like, he's back, and now Dallas hasn't established. So, is there a question there with that? What's the bigger question for you, Dallas offense or Bears defense?
Bears defense, because Dallas's offense should score 30, just their setup, in my opinion. And that's what's the tough part for me is if they do not expand Dak, he doesn't improve, which I think he will. Mm-hmm. And they just run the football and control the ball game, it can be easy within 10, but it's not close. Mm-hmm. Like a not close under 10. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? But I believe that they'll get up early, and the Bears will actually have to get out and start throwing the ball, and Fields is not. He can't.
Yeah.
So they'll end up covering easily. I think they'll be up 17 most of the game. and then they might get a cheap touchdown, get to 10, but I don't like
This is like a 24-13, 27-16 type of game.
Yeah.
A few field goals back and forth. Dallas gets a couple touchdowns.
If they get
Maybe
touchdowns,
the Bears get a touchdown late.
if you get touchdowns instead of field goals, it's not
Yeah,
close.
yeah, it's
40's in
close.
play.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe there'll be some field goals.
So both Stoy and I on Dallas, and Dallas to cover the 9.5 at home, and
we are
under 42.5.
Just tail us because
Tail us.
we make a pick. That's all we pick.
Next up, your Falcons.
Yeah, boy, at
against
home.
The
Been away for a while.
pantsless Panthers.
Yeah, I have. If we don't win and cover, this one will be upsetting to me. And the reason isn't because of, like, I think Mariota's going to play better or whatever. This is more the fact that there's no one left for the Panthers. Like, who do they have left on the team? Yes, they just beat the Bucs, but don't question me on the Bucs. Like, what in the world do they have? Now, we get the full week of seeing them without McCaffrey and Robbie Anderson. So I think that's going to bode well. But if we come home and lay a stinker and we can't beat the Panthers by a touchdown, I will actually be upset on that one.
All right. And thoughts on points scored? 41.5 is the total.
I mean, we're going to score 28. It's just a matter of how many we give up. We give up points. It's 28-17. What? We did it again? Great.
Oops, we did it.
But if we nail these, you know how much shit we're going to talk next week?
Absolutely.
Ryan's going to be, if he's back.
I'm walking with medals and trophies and
everything.
Steal somebody's WWE belt. Like,
love it. All right. Cards, Vikes.
Cards, Vikes. Vikes are hot.
3.5
in the division.
At home?
48.5 total. 3.5 point favorites against the fighting Kyler Murrays.
Vikings aren't losing it. They're going to lose this game.
Again, you wouldn't think so. 3.5.
They're not going to lose the game.
Hate the number.
I really don't like that number.
Hopkins back for the Cards for the second week now, so you got to think that it's only going to get more rapport between him and Kyler. Honestly, the Cardinals are not a great football team. No. Vikings have found ways to win. I don't like the number 3.5. I probably wouldn't play the number.
Vikings coming off a bye. Cardinals coming off a mini bye. The number, I really don't like it. By the way, anything with the Vikings around 3.5, 3,
stay away.
Stay away. So don't bet this.
Right.
Just don't bet it. Okay. We're going to make our pick.
Right.
I'm telling you, don't bet that part. Don't bet the spread.
Don't do it.
But I'm gonna take Minnesota because I don't think the Cards are.
Yep.
Gonna do that. Over under 49 or 48.5.
I got 48.5.
Yeah, it's 49 in DraftKings. I just believe they're going to score. I don't think they're going to stop Jefferson. They'll run the ball with Cook. There's nothing the Cards can do to stop.
Right.
And I just don't know how many the Cards can score is the issue for me.
Vikings defense has been their weakness this year.
I know. Yeah. 31-21. Book it. Do we do it again?
I mean, I have all mine written down, so
at this point we might as well just freaking ride with it.
Yeah, right.
Packs Bills. Bills. I'm gonna go ahead and just Buffalo's winning. Buffalo's winning the game.
10.5.
Buffalo's winning the game.
Biggest underdog the Packers have been under Aaron Rodgers since he's played. They've been bigger when he didn't play, but this is the biggest deficit he'll face as a starter.
Really, this should have been a super good Sunday night football game.
Yeah.
It's not.
Also, Lazard is looking questionable at best. Yeah. He was in a sling at the end of the game last week.
They are discombobulated. They don't have a Cobb.
It's a home game for Buffalo.
You got to go with Buffalo. I don't know why you wouldn't.
And that's the thing.
You know what? Buffalo, Packer, prove it. Prove it, Aaron Rodgers. Right. Prove it.
And the thing with Buffalo is when they win games, for the most part, they blow teams out. It's not something where they play a lot of close football games.
Correct. And they will blow you out. That's the thing. They will blow you out.
And it'll happen real fast. That game could get ugly. Again, as our picks are indicating, it feels like a setup week in the NFL. I'm ready for the blowback, but again, prove it week like you just said.
With that saying, betting-wise, be careful.
Yeah.
I would stay away from spreads and totals probably. Yeah. There's some really lock, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty of good plays out there.
Just
don't feel like you had to play everything.
Yeah, don't. I mean, even look at this trap. Colts Commanders. Colts are favored 3.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me?
Starting a new quarterback
who's never taken a single season snap against Tyler Heineke.
The Heineke.
Yeah. Who grinds things
clutch.
To hell. Okay. Yeah. So you wouldn't call trap week. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Monday Night Football.
No. I need to know how many points you think are being scored in that Bills.
I want to skip it.
47.5.
Pack will get to 17-20.
Okay.
So it's got to go over. Do we defer? Please tell me you did. Did we do it? We did it! Hip, hip, hooray. The first pick of the whole college and NFL. That's bad. I hope you're wrong.
That's fair.
Just so I can
I
talk
don't
shit.
love... I switched my pick when I was initially looking. My thing is I don't think that Green Bay is going to score. Like, I don't think they're like. But the thing is,
like, what do you mean don't score? Like, as in 0 or 10?
Like 13 max.
Yeah. See, I have them at 17 max.
But
Buffalo's going to score 30.
Yeah. 34-13. Sneaking under.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make me physically ill.
Well, that's why we didn't love it. That's why we tried to skip it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Bengals Browns Halloween. Woo! Not trick or treating because that's not what we do in this state.
No.
Be watching NFL football.
I mean, do you think they picked orange teams for Halloween on purpose?
Yeah, absolutely.
Couldn't be more festive.
Browns, you better paint your logo. That better be a jack-o'-lantern logo. If you miss this opportunity in the middle of your field,
right,
you can't mess that up.
You mean the toddler that they have out there right now?
Yeah, that's got to go.
Right.
They usually have their helmet. Just do that.
Right.
Put jack-o'-lantern in it.
Yeah.
It should be fairly easy. We got Bengals favored 3.5. Is that still correct?
I got a 3 on FanDuel.
Okay. Well, 3.5 on DraftKings, 47 for the total over here. I watched part of this game, although I was at some soccer. But nothing tells me that the Browns are going to stop the Bengals.
Right.
Not a little bit. Rivalry game. I get that. I do. I don't know where the Browns are going to score points.
They can run, and I think the Bengals are susceptible to the run.
Going under here.
We will flip again.
2 in a row, baby.
Do you think the Bengals will cover?
I do. I don't like it.
No, I agree.
At all. But
it's only 3, though.
Yeah.
And I think that's worst case scenario push. So
I agree.
I agree with that. And I will take the over. I think Cincinnati continues to throw the ball.
I mean, hell, since it could do it themselves.
The game, really and I think that the Browns are going to be good enough on the ground and consistent enough moving the football. Cincinnati is by no means a juggernaut defensively, so I think they find a way to get over 47 there.
All right. All right.
Here we go.
Let's lock her up.
Lock her up. Best bets for the week. Money line lock -200 or better. I've got the Ravens.
Damn it.
It's kind of the most obvious one up top. I don't usually like to, but there's not a lot of else that I liked, so I'm going to ride with that. Baltimore -118. Again, the bigger reason that I didn't like it is just it feels like a setup.
There's a lot of setups actually.
Yeah. You just scroll through.
I'm like now,
and you're just like understand.
well, I'm looking at money lines too. Like,
oh, it's all set up.
Giants Seahawks. Giants are 3 dogs. Niners Rams. Hello. Just because I don't want to follow you at this point.
That's fair.
Go ahead and give me where the hell to go. Oh, yeah, I'll take this one. Give me the Jags minus 145 or the Broncos. It was either that one or I was going to go with the Jets.
145? Yeah, those are 2 games that I looked at.
The Jets over the Patriots. Jets are dogs, plus 105. How?
Right. Nope, I agree.
Who's hurt? Who died? Give me that one. Spread.
Spread. I have the Titans getting their 2.5 point favorites over Houston.
They're 2 here.
Well, I'll take the 2 then.
Yeah. Jeez. That's redonkulous.
Games in Houston. Didn't really deter me, obviously, but
I'll go back to the Jets. Give me Jets plus 1.5 at home against the Patriots.
Over under lock. I've got the Dolphins and Lions.
Stop taking my picks.
Under.
Oh, absolutely.
51.5.
Absolutely. Where else would that go?
The Lions have.
Where else would that go?
Somewhat regressed. We saw the Dolphin regression with the Steelers last week. Kind of view this as a similar game, honestly, as kind of what we saw with Miami Pitt. Is just there's potential for points just because both teams have shown the ability to air raid a little bit, but I'll take the under 51.5.
That was my number 1 pick. But I'm going to go opposite again. This might, if we tie and this is the reason, I'm going to be so mad. Give me the Niners Rams.
Okay.
Under 43.5. I don't know where the Rams offense has gone, nor do I know where San Fran's offense has gone. On paper, I would love for them both to score 24 points. I just don't see it.
Only one of them has to score 24. The other one only has to score 20.
Good math.
I don't like that pick.
No, I don't either, but you took my main one, and
it's fine.
I don't know what to do with my hands. D-Gen
pick. You're going to love it. I'm going to save mine. You go first.
Okay.
Because I know you won't match mine on this.
Thankfully.
I got a 3-team parlay. Plus 501.
Hey. Oh, that's glorious. A 3-team parlay, huh? Oh, mine has to be 2. You have to go 2. I don't know. It'd be a really big stretch here if you tried not to. Screw it. I'll go 3-team. You're going 3-team. I'll go 3. Give me Jets, Jags, Ravens.
That's close. You almost did. You almost got it.
How funny was that? Just walk out. Be done. Leave the podcast going until next week. I don't think I put in a time for... Oops.
What was the line on that?
Oh, plus 512.
Oh, even better than mine.
Because I am better.
So I've got the Jags.
Okay.
The Jets.
Yeah.
I called this it was the D-Gens D-Gen. So these were winning D-Gens for my
Jags,
D-Gen.
Jets.
Jag Jets and your
Oh.
Hot Atlanta
Hot
Falcons.
Atlanta. Plus 407 over here.
Oh, yeah, plus 501.
Maybe I should look at that on FanDuel then. You got 501? That's a difference. FanDuel, here I come. I want better odds.
So, quick recap. Moneyline locks. Stoy has Jacksonville minus 145. I have the Ravens minus 118. Spread locks. Stoy's taking the 1.5 points that the Jets are getting. I have Tennessee covering the 2.5. Over-under lock. Stoy has the under on the 43.5 for the 49ers and the Rams. I have the under on the 51.5 of the Dolphins and the Lions. And our D-Gen picks of the week, Jags, Jets, Ravens for Stoy, plus 512.
536 on FanDuel.
Plus 536 on FanDuel. And I have the Jags, Jets, and Falcons, plus 501 on FanDuel. That should do it for this week. We will try to do better, technologically speaking, next time.
We'll try.
We will see how well Stoy and I did this week because there's only a couple of different picks that are.
Oh, geez. There literally is two.
Ryan's gonna have to. It's Ryan's chance to either get buried or embarrass us.
Right. And he won't know unless he tuned in.
Right. And hopefully
this
Ryan,
could be a record goon lock.
It could. Ryan. Hopefully back next week. He's hoping to be. So we would welcome him back with technologically open arms.
We got sound working.
Right? Hey.
Hey.
No, I don't say we. You.
I don't even know. I'm not even 100% sure what I did yet.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's the best part. Like, subscribe, comment. Give us feedback.
Let's go.
Anything you want to hear about, talk about, discuss. If there's anything you want broken down, anything you want explanations on, whether it's game-wise or betting-wise, let us know. Everybody have a good week.
We are working on a couple guests. I don't even know if Cole knows all this yet. He knows one of the guests.
Mm-hmm.
One may or may not have been a white running back for Iowa State. And the other just came out of Valley, may or may not have been a tight end. Yeah. Played a little basketball.
Absolutely.
So those are coming down the pipe. We're going to get schedules in line, specifically with the college athlete. Cause
not easy.
Not easy. The other one, we'll get him in. We might have him in a little more often just because it's easy.
It's a great get.
And
he's got a lot of radio experience, too.
And he's fun to be around.
Good dude. Ton of insight.
Good dude. And so stay tuned for some of those guests come down the pipe.
Absolutely.